Hi, Mr. Layton back again. In this video, we're going to cover phrasing. Last video, we talked about articulations, and this is video number 11, and we're talking about phrasing. A phrase in music is a complete musical thought. Phrases are typically 4 or 8 measures long, but maybe more or less depending on the music. Okay, so we're just talking about the very basics of phrasing. Look at the following musical selection. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And I don't even think that's the right twinkle. Oh, it's really close though. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. So we're going to break this down into phrases. This section can be broken into 3 phrases, each 4 measures long. So the first phrase, we're going to think of as like a sentence. We're having a conversation in music. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. That's a new idea, too. So we had idea A was a phrase, and we had idea B, and then we go back to idea A. And we want them to sound complete. Usually, we will try not to breathe in this phrase, but if you have to, don't breathe here. Da 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 dee dee dee. There's a better place to breathe. Try breathing in the middle of the next measure. That's more appropriate. Or if you need to breathe sooner, breathe right there. Da 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 dee dee da 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 da. So I breathe right here in between beats 2 and 3 in measure 2. But if I breathe this, probably if you need to breathe, that's the best place to breathe. Which would actually be the best place to breathe would be the end of measure 4 on the end of 4. let's just let's pretend we're running out of air. I can only go this long because I'm playing flute or tuba. La 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 la, and then I'm gonna breathe again on the end of 4. Okay, that's a better place to breathe. But really, we want to wait and see if we can make it all the way to the end of 4 at the end of the phrase for our breathing. So phrasing is a musical sentence, but it actually helps us learn where the best place to breathe is. La 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 la. So now I'm purposely breathing loud so you can hear it, and how it matches up with the phrase. It sounds much better when I'm breathing in the right spots. Okay. Now, we might not always have a good idea of where phrases are, but here's a clue, because a lot of people that play music that's slurred have a slur marking, right? And remember, we talked about slurs in a couple videos. It's that curved line that goes over many different notes. Let's pretend we have one here, and it's going to continue from that. And let's just pretend we have slur markings over these phrases. Now, many students don't realize that's the composer wanting us to slur, but it's also telling us there's the phrases. Those are the phrases. And so you also want to breathe in there, because the composer he definitely doesn't want you to breathe in that phrase. Okay, so if you ever see that in your music, remember back to this video, what we talked about. Those slur markings are also double as phrase markings. So in order for our phrasing to be correct and produce a complete musical thought, we must breathe only at the end of the phrase or at breath marks provided by the composer. We just talked about that. And if we breathe in appropriate places, our performance becomes segmented or inappropriate. So, like, yeah, if it's in inappropriate places, that becomes segmented and choppy and doesn't make sense to the audience. To understand this concept, try singing Twinkle Twinkle and talking, taking breath at random spots of the song, and you'll see how choppy it kind of feels. And maybe some of you don't know who William Shatner is and his character Captain Picard on Star Trek from the original old school Star Trek, but he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not phrasing when I talk." Right? He would talk all weird, and that's what we would sound like if we were to do it with "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I under. We wouldn't sing like that ever. We would sing "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are." Up, up, and then we would breathe in the appropriate spots. It sounds much better. Breathing at appropriate places is only one part of musical phrasing. We must also play through the phrase in a musical way by emphasizing the high points, playing dynamics, articulations, and etc. This concept will be covered in more detail as we perform our musical selections. So, the general rule of thumb. Now, it may be different, and you're always going to default to what the composer wrote, too. But or your band director, right? Maybe your band director tells you something else. But if we're looking at this, the notes are generally going higher. C, C, G, G, A, G, right? And what the general rule of to make it more musical is to increase our volume, like there's a crescendo right there, even though it's not written. To to phrase more musically, we need to actually increase the dynamics as we go up higher, and then decrease our dynamics as we go lower. And the advanced phrase for that is called shaping. That's really what we're talking about, is shaping the music. C, C, G, G, A, G, F, F, E, E, D, D, C, G, G, F, F, E, E, D, G, G, F, F, E, E, D, C, C, G, G, A, G, F, F, E, E, D, D, C. So now it's a little bit better in the phrasing, the breathing, and the shaping with the dynamics. I hope this video helps you understand phrasing and its most basic thing. And you always want to listen to your band director, because if I'm Mr. Layton, and if you're not my student, you obviously want to listen to your band director, or you want to be following the instructions of the composer. So if the composer writes something, like if the notes are going lower, but the composer put a crescendo to get louder, you you want to be listening to that, and you're just going to use this as a general rule of thumb, but you're defaulting to what your band director says and what the composer has written. Okay, well, this is a great video on phrasing. I hope you use it to make you sound musical, because nobody said that you can be too musical. Nobody ever said that. And in our next video, we're going to talk about practice techniques for technical patterns. Yeah, we're going to get into the good stuff so you can become better. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.